something you can't fix.
If you can't fix what's broken, you'll go insane.
It's Jay and Adam. It's Preview.
It's Preview's Fix It with Adam and Jay.
Hey, Peaches! Welcome to Fix It, where friends don't let friends fix pop culture alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay. And you're our listener.
Hey there, listeners.
Ho there, listeners!
There, listeners.
Yes, for all the underwater listeners, citizens, we bid you hello and good day.
And do our bidding.
Do our bidding. It's funny to me that his powers are controlling fish when no other does any other superhero have the ability to control land animals like that?
No, I don't. No, Beast Boy transforms into Animal Man, kind of, a little bit. I think he takes on attributes of animals.
But for some reason, because he's underwater, like everyone's like, well, of course he can control fish.
I think he just talks to fish and asks them for assistance.
Sure, he speaks fish.
Yes.
Like one
He's
does.
not mind controlling them. He's asking for help, and they are choosing to help him.
Okay, that makes sense.
That he has fishy friends.
So
fish are friends, not food.
Do all Atlanteans have like just really high animal husbandry?
No, it's just him.
Oh,
Arthur's the only one that can do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what sets them apart.
Huh.
Yeah.
I guess I never really thought that hard about it. Anyways, welcome to Fix It. Hi, everybody. I am Jay. That's Adam. You may know us from our wildly successful YouTube reaction channel, Previewed. Or you may know us from being the janitor who got really weirded out when the kid controlled all the fish at the aquarium.
That was
a pretty cool scene.
Is this
Look, if you're making an Aquaman movie, that's what you get.
It was in the wrong place.
What do you mean?
That scene just kind of happens.
The aquarium seems like the only place that could happen.
No, but in the movie, the scene just kind of happens, and it's like, oh, well, I know what's going on, but like it just kind of happens in between things. It's like
it doesn't have anything to do with anything else moving forward, really.
Kind of.
Not really.
It's kind of dropped there, like, hey, he can talk to fish. Moving on.
It was just a cool shot. They wanted to show us a cool shot.
But it wasn't in like progression of him like growing up. It just like this happens at one point when he's a kid.
It's the only scene of him as a kid, really.
Yes.
Other than him, hiding in the corner when they're fighting. Anyways, this is our show Fix It, where every week Adam and I take a piece of pop culture that maybe missed the mark, maybe didn't quite get there, maybe just couldn't get above the surface. And we fix it. And this week we are fixing 2018's Aquaman.
Aquaman.
The Jason Momoa-led DC character feature film. Aquaman. Everyone's favorite DC character?
Yeah, my man.
My man.
Aquaman.
I will say this about the casting of Jason Momoa
sure.
as Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
It feels to me, look, he's the coolest guy. I think we as men can all agree his list of attributes, he's probably the coolest.
Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's like real buff, but like not in an uptight way.
Nope.
Like he's the kind of buff guy that will still go out drinking with you.
Oh, sure.
Like he's the type of guy that like you expect to just be able to pick up an electric guitar and just abjectly shred for no reason. Be like, oh yeah, I took a couple lessons in college. Like this guy rules.
Well, he did great in the Fast X.
Yeah,
as the bad guy.
I suppose
he was just having fun.
He had a great time.
Yeah, he had a great time.
His part made no sense.
It didn't, but he was having fun, and
yes.
I enjoyed watching him.
Yeah, it was
him
fun.
Have a good time.
Yeah, he's objective. It seems like they were like, look, if we're gonna make Aquaman cool, we have to inject it with all the cool.
Yes.
We cannot, there can be no uncool stone left unturned here. Like, we have to pump this with so much, like, pure sex appeal that it is undeniable.
Sure, yeah.
And I think they achieved it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they made Aquaman cool.
Yep.
But they made Aquaman so cool that to me, I was like, that they didn't have any faith in the source material. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, Jay.
It just is like, oh yeah, I guess, yeah, yeah. You make him bulletproof. I'm not sure that he is, but sure.
No, he is.
Okay.
Jay, he can withstand the pressures at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh.
So, like, where we would all be squanched immediately.
Oh, that's...
As we learned earlier this year with that little...
we don't need to talk about that.
I'm just saying, he can withstand those...
No bummers, man.
So, like, he could take a bullet.
Okay. Oh, I guess that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Physics!
I always forget you're a DC apologist.
No, I'm not a DC apologist anymore.
Really?
No.
What's changed?
It's just they don't deserve to be apologized for anymore.
That's fair. I mean, are you excited for the James Gunn?
I am not.
You're not?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. I believe when I see it.
Okay, that's fair. That is fair. We've been burned but too many times by stuff that we should trust.
Yeah, but no, I'll believe when I see it.
Okay, that's fair.
Trust but verified.
But before we get into like really deep dive into Aquaman, we've come to my absolute favorite segment of this show. Everyone's favorite. We took a vote, and this was just completely blew everything else.
It was 100%. Yeah, no one voted for anything else.
Our segment we call Roll for Convo. Adam has 20 topics of conversation.
They're right here on
my screen. For our first segment of the show, and I'm going to roll a 20-sided die, and we're going to talk about whatever number we roll. Thank you, producer Brian, for producing all of these wonderful questions for us. We love you to death. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. You're hanging on by a thread. All right. And it's a gentleman's 6.
Uh-oh. What's your zombie apocalypse plan? You define your own context.
I feel like you have an answer for this, like, right out the gate.
Well, here's the thing. It is if it's real, like if we are in real world stakes.
Okay.
You have to last a month.
A month?
You have to make it a month.
Why a month?
That's how the body will decompose.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty dark, but okay.
Oh, yeah. Then that is a body, unless it's some other mystical. If it were just talking straight up like a disease-based zombie disease-based
situation. The corpses are coming to life. You only have like a month before they decompose. Okay, so you need to make it a month.
You got to make it a month.
I mean, you have been very, very vocal on this podcast of saying once society breaks down, like you're done. You're done for.
I might be able to make it a month.
Okay, how would you do that?
Well, we block all the doors. We kind of barricade ourselves in. Okay, and we hope for the best.
Do you have enough power bars to make it through?
I don't know.
Okay. I know I know it's like Power Bar isn't really the brand at all anymore.
Not anymore, no.
But there will always be Power Bars to me.
Understandable. Yeah. It's kind of like Kleenex.
Yes. Kleenex could go away as a company, and I would still just call them Kleenexes.
I mean, because honestly, that is the. I mean, because realistically, everything's effed.
Everything's.
Oh, we'd be totally screwed in the city.
Oh, in the city, yeah. There's
totally screwed.
We're done. I mean, like, it's the kind of, and it's my favorite conversation to have with people in New York specifically, because it comes up often. But I'm like, hey, there's so much humanity here that if that were to happen, like, this city is not like there's not enough prep, or there's not enough like strength, will, or know-how to just overcome the tsunami of bodies that would just be everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's the kind of thing where it's like your best strategy for surviving a zombie apocalypse, if you are in New York, is to just get out as quickly as possible. Now, up in here in the Heights, I feel like with the George Washington Bridge there, that's actually kind of attainable.
It's tantalizingly close to get out.
Like, as someone who has walked over that bridge to go to the conveyor belt sushi restaurant on the other side, I can tell you it's.
I've done it too.
It's a hoof.
Not the sushi place, but I have walked over the bridge.
What did you go over there for?
We walked over
and back. If not for
back.
tasty sushi.
Just to do it.
Just to do it?
Yeah, we walked over and back, yeah.
It's not a pleasant walk.
It's not.
Like, you just did that to do it? That's not fun at all. I had the promise of conveyor belt sushi on the other side.
Yes.
And it was delightful. Ooh, I'm having conveyor belt sushi on Sunday, and I can't wait.
Oh, yum, yum, yum for you.
Yum, yum, yum.
Thank you.
Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 and Merry Christmas. Yum, 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 yum. No, I mean, I don't even know what purpose I would serve in a like a zombie post-apocalyptic situation. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I have no skills when it comes to that kind of thing. And this is gonna sound like a bit lashy, and I know you think the only thing I would be good at in a post-apocalyptic society would be leading a cult. It's the only thing I would be good at. I am enigmatic. I can talk good. Yeah, just like that. I feel like I could inspire people to bend to my will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what
I
you're saying.
feel like that's the only way out for me. And it would be very reluctant. I wouldn't want look, I'm going to fight to survive for my little family.
Sure.
And if that means I have to start a cult, then I have to start a cult.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
You could come along. You could be my vizier.
I knew you were going to call. Yep, I knew you were going to position me as the vizier.
Man, you would be my trusted advisor.
You know, the one to make sure we have like a good sewer system. The Department of Transportation gets funded. Yeah,
absolutely.
All the good things that make society run.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to find a Leslie Knope and make sure that our society runs.
Absolutely. But like, you know, the buck would stop with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll can you if I need to. You know what I'm saying? You know.
I mean, you wouldn't, but you talk other people into doing it.
You know.
Sure.
You know, 6 1 half dozen another at a certain point.
Of course. But these things always bum me out. Like, it's just because, like, it's just like no one
You
wins.
can't find any joy in it.
In a zombie apocalypse?
In just like in the grandiose fiction of a zombie apocalypse, like, you know, like you know, it'd be fun to. No. I will say it would be in a zombie apocalypse situation. It would be fun hitting the streets with the Axford comma, and just going to town a little bit and really let that blade sing. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. It just bums me out. It's zombie because it's always.
I feel like that battle axe was made for zombie smashing.
It quite possibly was, yeah. Or vampires.
I don't know. I think it's not fast enough for vampires. Vampires are tricksy.
They are tricksy.
You know? Duh. You gotta like.
What was that, Jay?
Duh.
Oh, okay.
About the Sonky Blonde.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
You know, vampires. Vampire.
Sure.
No.
Uh-huh.
Yes. I think I'd be a fun vampire.
I'd
be a jolly vampire.
Or would you be the jolliest of vampires?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think if the Shadows show or whatever, you know, I'd be good at that. New York City. I'd be awesome at it.
You would be awesome at it.
Why are we talking about vampires?
Because it's more fun talking about vampires than zombies.
I don't know. Zombies are. I don't know. I feel like also in a zombie apocalypse situation, I see it in myself, and I feel like you would also do this, but in a different flavor. I feel like we would be the type of people that would have a zombie chained up in our house because we thought we could cure them at some point. You know, we'd over sentimentalize it. No. Really?
I'll take you out.
Oh. I'm not even talking about me. I would imagine
anybody.
Oh.
I love you. Boom. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
You don't mess around with it.
Oh, see, I feel like
you don't mess around with these things.
Zombies, not even once.
Not even once. Not even once.
Oh boy. Okay. All right then, dude. Maybe you will survive with that attitude.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it'd be fun to at least try.
Okay.
Try and get out, you know? I mean, it'd be terrifying, and obviously
yes, it'd be terrifying, because you don't know everybody.
Yeah, but everyone has that daydream, you know? You have that daydream. What? Okay.
No.
You clearly don't have that daydream.
No.
And this is my question, because sometimes when a big premise comes up, you don't want to play with me, and you're like, I never thought about that. Why would I? Why? What do you daydream about, my sir? My sir?
Universal healthcare? I guess it God's honest truth. It really is. Boy, wouldn't it be cool if like disasters happened? No, man. Like, what if like we took care of everybody?
Yeah.
What if we took one step towards that Star Trek utopia?
Yeah, I literally,
Man, wouldn't that be
was
cool?
just about to say that. I was like, and now you know why Adam, as much as he loves Star Wars, he is a Trekkie at heart. Okay.
What if we could attain that federation? Man, that'd be awesome.
So you yearn for the singularity, I guess, is what you're.
I yearn for the post-scarcity world, Jay.
Okay. Okay. Cool, man. Great.
Because if everyone's taken care of, then so am I. Hey, that sounds great. Instead of, if everyone's a zombie or potentially a zombie or
Yeah, but
everyone's
it's
already
fun to think about, like, oh, what would we bring? How would we get out?
My brain, the reason why this isn't fun for me is because my brain immediately goes towards the details and how much harder life would be because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And that immediately just cuts all the fun out of
And
it.
you'd have to leave the house.
Well, yeah. That too.
All right.
But also no more video games, no more internet,
Yeah.
no more peanut butter. There's all sorts of.
You can make peanut butter. You
Oh,
can find
no.
peanuts.
No.
I'm sorry, what?
Not the way like not good peanut butter.
It's dude. It's you just put peanut.
It's
Have
not-
you ever
it's not
ever just put peanuts in a blender? You will make peanut butter right quick.
There's more to it than that.
I assure you, there is not.
Okay.
And the peanut butter that you're talking, the missing ingredient that
Yeah,
you're talking about in your
sugar.
peanut butter is high fructose corn syrup, homeboy.
I know it's bad for you, but peanut butter tastes great with it.
Even I'm like, ugh, that's me.
I know.
Ugh.
I've had like pure like peanut butter before. It is gross.
Man, where you draw the lines in the sand is so fascinating to me.
Mhm.
You are a fascinating bird.
Which is always the thing when that joke comes up of like, oh, if we switched bodies, I would destroy your body. And I was like, I'd be interested to actually see what you would do with these taste buds.
I think I'd be fine.
You think you'd be fine, but I wonder what you would do with the input my body would give you.
I see your point.
And vice versa.
Sure.
My software
I
in
will-
your hardware.
I will give you the benefit of the doubt. But I don't agree with you.
Sure.
I think I'd be fine.
You say that.
Yeah. I'd like on the other side of that fence. I would love for you to live in my brain chemistry.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And what yeah.
To fight against the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It'd be like Twister, just latched
Yeah,
onto
yeah,
that
yeah.
little pipe by a
'Cause,
belt.
Yeah, you wake up every morning and go, all right, what do I have to do? Oh, I have to do this? Let's do that.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas in my head, I'm fighting my way up across the George Washington Bridge. With my baby in a carrier, just like
With a battle axe, yeah.
battle axing my way.
What song's playing so you can
Kimberly,
attract the Batman?
Dude, it's as always, thunder. Wow, wow. It was cold. Kimberly the whole time telling me how I could do it better, and I wouldn't do it that way. Shut up, Kimberly. We're going topic. Oh boy. Well, that's been Roll for Convo.
Roll for
everybody.
convo, baby, buddy.
What a weird turn that took. I thought that was going to be a playground, and that turned into a TED Talk.
I don't like end of the world
No,
stuff,
I
man.
get
it really
it, I
it just
get
it
it.
just straight it gets
Yeah,
past
but
all
it's
my
not
barriers,
real, man. Zombies aren't real.
I know.
How would you kill a dragon?
How to kill a dragon?
Yeah,
Oh.
you had to.
That's a good question.
See, not real.
Yeah, but also not society destroying.
If a dragon landed on New York City.
Yeah, but also nowhere near close to a metaphor that what actually could happen or analogy to what could happen in reality.
I'm just saying. Well, we did watch Godzilla 98. It would be a lot like that, I think. We'll just feed a fish.
But feed a fish.
Yeah, man. And get Matthew Broderick on the case.
Yeah. And then just, order a strike on Madison Square Garden. That'll do it, right?
Yeah, man.
We'll get trapped in the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
boy. What a terrible, terrible film. Anyways, all right, we should probably move on.
Yeah,
to,
let's move on. Let's move on to Aquaman.
We'll move on to Aquaman. Aquaman. We should probably do a little plot drop.
We should.
I don't want to do it.
Okay, I will do the plot drop then. For Aquaman 2018.
Yeah.
The problem is that this movie takes place after Justice League.
Yes.
So we've already kind of met Aquaman.
Yes. In a major way, we've met Aquaman already.
Yeah. So this movie is like, okay, well, crap. Okay, we got to back this up then. And so we see the beginnings of Aquaman, that his mom, Atlanta. Atlanta.
There
Atlanta.
it is. There it is.
It's like Atlanta. It's like, whoa,
It's like Svetlana
Yeah.
with Atlantis.
Yes. Atlanta. Ran away from a forced marriage in Atlantis to some guy she didn't like. She was chased and hurt and wound up at Amnesty Bay at the lighthouse, and Boba Fett was there.
Yeah, it was.
And she didn't understand what was going on. He was taking care of her. She was very distrusting of him, but eventually he earned her trust and was like, I'm not going to hurt you. Like, you're free to go, whatever. And then they fell in love and they got married, maybe. And they had a baby, and everything was great for a little while.
I don't think they can legally get married.
I don't think they legally got married.
she's-
Maybe they knew a priest or something. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they went down to the courthouse. Who knows? Either way, they had a kid. It was great. Everything was fine until Atlantis soldiers showed up at some point and attacked, and she realized that she kicked all of their asses.
Yeah, she really did. It was cool.
And then realized she couldn't stay there for the safety of Arthur and Boba Fett, so she had to go back to Atlantis to protect them. Arthur grew up. And
Is there anything Nicole Kidman can't do, by the way?
No, she's really good.
She's just a marvel.
The fight scene was really good.
She's incredible.
So, with the mom gone, Arthur is raised by Boba Fett, and he turns into a rockin' cool dude who likes to drink and listen to badass metal music.
Yeah, man.
He helped the Justice League at some point, and then also the Vizier of Atlantis showed up in his childhood to help train him.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So, flash forward to he's adult, and after the events of the Justice League, and his half-brother, Orm, decided to, take over Atlantis, and so he came up with this convoluted plan to become king, and also wanted to attack the surface, even though he was kind of already the king.
Yeah, it's
kind of weird.
he wanted to unite the seven
kingdoms.
the seven kingdoms,
and the five of them that were remaining after. There's lore dumps that they just kind of glossed over a lot of the lore of, because much like when Green Lantern got the shine of hey, here are the other Lantern Corps, we're really gonna expand your universe. They did the same thing for Aquaman. It's not just Atlantis. There's 7 other kingdoms, and there's a whole lot more stuff down here. And they tried to cram all that in this movie, and they just kind of glossed over all these really interesting details, and this just kept going. Anyways, Orm wants to be the leader of all these things. He reaches out to who will eventually become Black Manta to attack Atlantis, to give him cover to, I'm going to go attack the surface, because, the surface world does not treat the oceans all that well, and that is true. Yeah, they haven't, but he wants to start a war with the surface. And so Mara, who we met in Justice League, was apparently connected to both his mom, Arthur's mom, and Orm, goes get Arthur, and I was like, hey, you need to come back and stop your brother. And he's like, I don't want to. No, you have to. Okay, I'm going to do it. And they try, and they fail. And they run away, and then they go on a fetch quest, which is so dumb. And they they figure out they do a little Goonies action. Meanwhile, then Black Manta shows back up. They find their mom. He gets the cool trident, fights his brother again. He wins this time, and then saves the day.
Yeah.
It's not great. Actually,
it's not bad, though.
But on the second rewatch, I was like, oh, wow. Yikes. The first time I watched it, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's fun. And they design Atlantis really well.
Oh, the character designs are great. The CG is great. The action is great. It's just the second time through, and I was paying more attention to what's actually going on, instead of, because the movie's over 2 hours, but it's paced very fast. We're going to plot point to plot point to plot point. We got to go, because if you take a second to think about what's going on here, it's wait a second, there's 2 movies going on right now.
Yes.
There's 2 distinct plots. There is Orm trying to take over Atlantis and the kingdoms that were remaining from its history, and the Goonies fetch quest, Indiana Jones stuff of finding this trident, and then they just smashed them together at the end to like, hey, they both solve each other. And I was like, oh, wait a second, both these stories are like actually quite good, and I would have enjoyed seeing just one of these stories.
Yes, I mean, and that it speaks to when they announced the sequel that's coming out this week. I have just been under the assumption that it is the third movie, because I'm like in my head I was like, well, we saw the second one. That's when he goes and gets the trident. That's the he fights Black Manta to get to the trident. Because I was like, the first movie is just about like the kingdoms, right? Yeah. I was like, oh, this is the third one, right? I was like, no, this is the second one. That all happens in the first one, and I was like, oh yeah, so much they didn't. And I can appreciate the grandiosity of what they're trying to attempt. Yeah. And I think that like from an editing and a script writing perspective, I think the movie keeps a fast clip. Mm-hmm. They don't screw around.
Nope.
But it's the kind of thing where I wish when you have your world building this cool, and you have a character like I like him as Aquaman.
He's great.
I think it's a fun take on the character.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you focus on one of these storylines and just let it and just relish in it a little bit more, you have a stronger franchise.
Yes.
Because it's like I don't think Aquaman sits in this. He sits at the bar at the beginning with his dad, and then I don't think he sits down until he sits on that throne after getting the trident again.
They are in this little sub a little bit for a couple of scenes,
sure,
talking back and forth.
But that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't physically really sit down.
No, he's chained to the floor a little bit, but that's about. Yeah, it's pretty much go. We got to keep going. Don't stop. We can't stop. Please don't stop the plot. We have to keep moving. There's just too much to go through.
Yes.
I mean, this is basically the equivalent of, hey, Hal Jordan, you just got this ring. Isn't that really cool? There are 7 other cores and perhaps more with like the unseen spectrum of light. And I was like, wait, what? I just got this ring a week ago. Can I just fight Sinestro? No. Sinestro's about to get his own core. In fact, and there's like all sorts of yellow legends. I was like, wait, can we just focus on Oa real quick?
Yeah, can we just
do a quick a good story about Hal learning these things?
Come on now.
No, we don't have time for that. We got to go. Go.
Yes.
The Sinestro's core war is the first movie.
Like, if you're telling me we could just get a huge lore dump about Atlantis and just kind of see how the inner workings of that society, I mean, hell, that's what made Black Panther so compelling was that Wakanda felt lived in.
Yes.
Like, we spent time in Wakanda seeing, like, their society, and even down to, like, the way that everyone dresses, and, like, that is from a storytelling perspective worthwhile for an audience.
Well, this is literally a fish out of water story.
yeah.
So like, Arthur should have been our audience surrogate of like, what the hell is Atlantis?
Yes.
What is going on here?
Yes.
There were 7. What's the history? Oh, way back in the day, we were all magic and we were way more advanced than everybody else here. Oh my God, they were just learning how to like throwing rocks, and we're like flying in the air with magic and stuff. And then we got a little too much hubris and everything came down. But now there are like 7 kingdoms. 2 of them are freaking dead. One of them turned into like scary trench monsters. But like there are a couple others out there. We will get into a crazy CG fight with one of them at the end. You won't even understand what's going on, who they are, or even care about
like
all
the
these
underwater
CG
Zerg
things smashing together.
Yeah.
But, like, we got to learn about Atlantis. He shows up, gets caught almost immediately, does trial by combat, and bounces. I was like, we didn't learn anything
I also think
about Atlantis.
Have a more compelling movie if you cast the half-brother as... Look, I think Patrick Wilson is a very talented person. I think he's a good actor. Honestly, I'm more impressed by his Broadway work than I am. He's an incredible singer, and he's been in a lot of really good Broadway. Yeah, he's the lead in the original Full Monty, stuff like that. He's an incredible performer. But when he's in movies, My first and honest gut response to Patrick Wilson being in things is, who said no, and so they had to go get Patrick Wilson?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like if you had someone as cool and as compelling as Jason Momoa to foil him, it would have been a more interesting.
I see what you're saying.
It would have been a more interesting situation.
Uh-huh.
Because he shows up and I'm like, ah, man, dude. Like when he shows up to that first meeting, I'm like, it screams like, are you a cop? You got to tell me if you're a cop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they're like, oh, Chris, your inevitable betrayal. I'm like, yeah, we knew it. We knew. Like, we knew.
He just kind of screamed narc.
Oh, the Green Goblin betrayed? Okay. Great.
Oh, yeah, and Willem Dafoe didn't care. That was the other thing.
I appreciated his level of aloofness, quite frankly.
Oh, sure. But there was a lot of not caring in this film. I don't know. When I was watching it, the VO at the beginning and the end, didn't really sell the. Because here's the thing. I know you didn't watch it, but in the first episode of the Flash TV show.
Oh, I thought you meant Aquaman. I was like, I watched Aquaman.
No. When Barry Allen was like, I need you to believe. I need to listen to a story, and he tells and I'm the fastest man alive.
Yeah,
and
and
the way he delivers that monologue, just I can just feel the energy rippling off my skin as I just move. Yeah, man, he runs real fast and he enjoys
Little guy go fast.
Little guy go fast. Cries a lot, but he also likes running fast.
Yeah, man.
But you believe Grant when he says these things.
Yeah, and all you have to do is encourage him, and he can go faster.
He can go faster.
The speed of encouragement. Is that what Ron said? No, it's
yes,
so funny.
But at the end of the movie, he's like, the first, you gotta, this is the story of my mom meeting my dad. It was the Nicole Kidman meeting Boba Fett. They fell in love. It was great.
I kind of liked it.
Oh, sure. But at the very end of the movie, after everything's done, and we're doing the little VO at the end, and he goes, I'm Aquaman. His intonation, he didn't care.
No.
He's not thrilled to be Aquaman.
It's the difference between the DC cinematic universe and the Marvel cinematic universe. When, Robert Downey Jr. saying he's Iron Man at the end of the first movie was so powerful that it became the best line of his last movie. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This movie, to your point, is the most expertly crafted non-passion project.
Yes.
Nobody was passionate about making this movie, but everyone showed up and was a goddamn professional about it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everyone was firing on all cylinders, but everyone was just kind of it's Aquaman, who cares?
They were doing a good job.
Yeah,
especially when he was, on all those CG monsters, yelling and the fight, you could tell he was having fun there, but there just didn't seem to be a joy in that's perverse and not perverse. It pervades all the Snyderverse stuff.
No, it
in
perverts
DC.
all of it. It perverts it.
But it's just but I'm Aquaman. It's okay, cool. I stand for truth, justice, and I'm better tomorrow. Henry Cavill, I know you can deliver that line better, but Zack Snyder didn't want you to. Even though he never said it in the movie, but there was that general sense of we are these characters, but
I don't know. I think Henry Cavill
gave
a lot of. This scene with Henry Cavill when he's in the interrogation room.
Oh, sure.
That's Superman to me.
Oh, yeah. No, he had moments of it, but he could have had better writing to help him out, but also he could have delivered a very close to Reeves' performance of the happy Superman.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jason Momoa, as cool as he is,
but also we don't thoroughly really understand who he is as a human being / Atlantean.
We don't understand anybody in this movie. They don't have time.
They don't have time. There's too much to do. Because I appreciate that he doesn't want to go back and he realizes they killed his mom, but I feel like we've missed a lot of the origins of this character. I feel like if you expand the first act to be him getting but again, this coming after Justice League kind of does it a disservice because you can't get any origin really at all because he's
already been to Atlantis.
It's in media res.
It's and we've already seen this story technically a couple of times in Marvel. This is Thor and Loki all over again.
Yes.
But Loki's got the throne from the start.
Yeah, with a little bit of Black Panther mixed in.
So we've seen it done better.
Yes.
And with a more deft hand, they took their time with like crafting these characters. Like you understand where they're coming from.
And also, you have an art department that I feel like was like chronically underappreciated because like they designed the absolute hell out of Atlantis, and we don't get to spend any time there, and it really bums. Like I just remember I said out loud. Well, I said it. I was about to say out loud to no one, but I was with my boy.
I think it was there,
but I was like, man, I like those seahorses that are also raptors. I want to do no more. I want to see all the creatures. You have all these fun creatures, and you tell me we don't get any fun creature scenes? This sucks. I don't want to see you guys, torpedo around, which I don't know how they do that.
It's cool, though.
It's cool. It looks awesome. I understand that, and that's the reason why they do it. And that's enough, honestly.
Sure.
But I'm like, come on, man. Can I see, like, where's their bar? Like, where do you keep them? How does that work? I don't know. I just,
yeah.
Especially when you have a character that, like, talking to these creatures is part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. There's just a lot. There's a lot they cram into this movie. A lot of it's really good that we'd love to know more of. We just don't have any time for it.
Yeah.
Orm shows up to talk to those other creatures, people, and just straight up murders
a lot of them.
The rulers, and it's like, all right, you're the last one.
We don't think they're the same. We don't know.
What?
What
was it? What?
What? He murders the submarine?
No, the green fish-esque people.
Oh yeah.
It's like, okay, stab. You're the last one left.
True.
Give me all your army. It's like we don't. What is going on?
I was thinking about
there was like no ramifications. It's like, it just kind of happens out of nowhere. It's like, oh right, because we don't have time. We need an army.
It's
to smash against another army for some reason.
Yeah.
Because this tale that's supposed to be personal isn't.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should probably move into fixing this.
We should move into fixing this one.
Before we get into the fixes, I just want to say that you, gentlemen, you're hanging on by a thread because you forgot about producer Brian's beautiful bean fun fact footage as we try to fix 2018's Aquaman. Directed by James Wan and written by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick and Will Beal, it stars Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, Willem Dafoe, Patrick Wilson, Nicole Kidman, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and Boba Fett. Here are some fun facts about this Aquaman movie. This movie made $1.15 billion on a $200 million budget. The net profit was around $250 million, and it's the highest grossing DCEU movie worldwide. It's actually the third highest grossing WB movie worldwide, behind Barbie and Deathly Hallows Part 2. Now, can't place that voice in the movie? Yes, that's Mary Poppins, Julie Andrews, as the Kraken. Also, Peter Jackson was approached to direct this movie, but declined. And if you care, it has a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 2.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Now, to add to Jay thinking there are multiple Aquaman movies, major Aquaman teasers, scenes, and plot points are in other DCEU movies, so I totally get it. Anyway, whoop, 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 gentlemen.
You're going first.
I am going first.
Because, honestly, we had a long conversation about this, and honestly, like, there is a fix here, but there's really only, like, one real fix. Kind of.
I had three basic ideas. It was either
you pick one of the stories.
Pick one of the stories. It's either the Arthur goes back to confront Orm. It's basically the
which I think is the only right move.
Well, that's the thing. That was an arc in the comics.
Yeah.
From the New 52.
Sure.
It was Throne of Atlantis. It was Orm, attacks the surface, and Arthur's got to stop him. It's good. They turned that into an animated film
because then you can turn the whole Trident thing into the second movie.
Yep. Arthur gets the throne from Orm in the first movie.
Yeah.
We learned about Atlantis. Great. The second movie being like there's a threat to Atlantis, and the only thing that can stop it is this fabled trident.
Yeah.
You have to go explore these other nations.
Absolutely.
That naturally progresses yes, this is Atlantis, but also there's more out there. We learn more about the lore. Here's an adventure. Your mom's alive? oh my god, I got the trident, I got my mom. Orm's gonna be thrilled because maybe we can have this Thor Loki thing going of like Arthur and Orm like, okay, I know we hate each other, but like actually the one thing that connects us, our mom is back, so like maybe there is hope for us.
Yeah.
We defeat the thing, great. And then the third movie is, hey, Black Manta shows back up with like an evil trident or whatever. Oh, by the way, Black Manta should not have been in this first movie.
No, it was fun, but also, I think they wanted they hammered in the trident thing into this movie because it's cool when he has the trident,
cool,
and they put Black Mantis in this movie, or Black Manta.
Yeah.
Black Mantis is a totally different thing. Black Manta. They put him in this movie because it's the only villain for Aquaman that a lot of people know about.
Yes, it is.
Writ large.
Yeah.
It's like it's the you have the barest of expectations of your audience. Yeah. And so you get this screenplay.
Yeah. You set up Black Manta. He's in the we set him up. He's either well, you'll see my fix, but like it's also the after credit scene. Like you set him up. He's in the first scene, the first action scene, and he's at the after credits. Like I'm gonna get you, Aquaman. You kill my daddy. Yeah. It's like that's gonna be awesome. He'll see him in the next film.
Absolutely
great. He just need to be a sub bad guy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
like Arthur doesn't want your throne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's your
also
fix.
the third one was make it a TV show. Take some time. You could do this story over 8 episodes.
Yeah,
but
I think you and I both know. I think you and I both know that DC at that time would have never.
Oh, there's no way. Oh, there's no way. Okay, but here is my fix. I am taking one of those stories and just making that the movie.
Great.
But you got to action it up a little bit. So here we go. My movie starts the exact same way. VO of Aquaman or Arthur telling us what's going on. Atlanta shows up. Boba Fett have a kid. They're in love. They're attacked. Nicole Kidman kicks ass. It goes back to Atlantis to save both Boba Fett and Arthur. But we're gonna stay with Atlanta. Atlanta? Yes, Atlanta. As she heads back to Atlanta, so we're gonna montage through her forced marriage and childbirth of Orm. We're gonna stay with her.
Okay.
So because Arthur was like 5, 6.
Yeah.
When she went back, so we're gonna stay with her for a little bit, see what happened. She marries the guy.
Yeah.
She has Orm, and then we're gonna flash over to Arthur because after the moment, it's like, okay, Orm's been born.
Orm's also a narc name too, so they had to get Patrick Wilson for such a narc.
We're gonna flash back to Arthur, and we're gonna see him getting bullied and stuff, and we're gonna have that scene of him at the aquarium.
Yeah.
But this is a montage of we're gonna like set up our main 2 characters here.
Okay.
See their childhoods.
Sure.
And we're gonna see how Arthur is having trouble as a kid and being bullied and stuff like that. But we're seeing his hatred for Atlantis grow. Yes. Because they took his mom.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we're gonna flash back over to Orm, and we see Atlanta takes Mara because Zerbis. The nation that's in the Bermuda Triangle, where Mara is originally from with her dad.
Yeah,
she's like a ward of Atlantis.
Okay,
so we're gonna see Mara join, the Ratoon, I guess, of Atlantis, and she's gonna meet Orm as a kid. They're both kids, basically, and we're gonna see Atlanta to try to teach them about, because Mara mentions this in the movie, like how your mom wanted us to like keep peace with the surface world. Yes. And Orm was not down for that. Yeah. We're gonna see her try to instill those lessons on Mara and Orm, and Mara's gonna like, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense, and like Atlanta is like, there's a better way for all this, but Orm is like, no, man, the surface perverted you. Yeah. Like you can't be trusted. You can't be trusted. Yeah. Like I love you. You're my mom, but you're not
thinking in the best interest of your own people.
Exactly. So Orm's gonna tell his dad what she did about, like, she's trying to teach him how to to play nice with the surface. Oh, okay. That is going to get her killed. Okay. But Orm is not gonna take any responsibility for that. It's like, it's not my fault. It's the surface's fault. Yeah. The surface perverted, corrupted her. I had no choice. Yeah. I had to. Exactly. The surface took my mom away from me.
Oh, okay.
So Orm and Arthur are on the same track. From kids, they hate each other's world because both of them took their mom.
Oh, okay, great. That's yeah.
And we're gonna see it.
Yes,
One of the
yes.
last things that Alana does is she asks Volko to go train Arthur.
Yes. Okay.
So that then leads us back to those training sequences of Volko and Arthur,
Which were fun.
and Arthur will learn about his mom's death. And so now the stage is finally set with our main character, and this is all happening in about 15 minutes. Like we can go through this pretty freaking fast. But now we know what the stakes are. Orm hates Arthur and the surface. Arthur hates Atlantis and Orm because of they both think their mom's dead.
Yeah.
Thus, we have now the story can actually start, and now we understand where everyone's coming from. So, we can start with the same scene of the action scene in the sub. The sub gets broken into. Aquaman shows up. He stops the bad guys, and then this time, instead of actively leaving Black or Manta's father to die, he instead chooses to save. It's a choice between saving the one guy and saving all the sailors.
Oh, okay.
Actively, he needs to actively save the sailors.
Yeah.
And he chooses to save the sailors over the pirate that caused this whole thing.
Yes.
In the save, a couple of missiles go off and attack and hit something in Atlantis.
Oh, okay.
Which is just enough of
a push
that Orm needed to be like the surface. See, the surface attacked us. We have to attack.
They know we're here now.
Yeah, they know we're here. The events of Justice League has happened. The world is starting to become aware of us. We have to attack first. Look what they have done to the ocean. We have no choice. But everyone's like, I don't really know about this. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But Orm doesn't have to. He's already king. His father recently died. He's the next in line. He doesn't have to go get an army.
Yeah.
He can just.
There's no proving himself kind of thing.
He just gets to do it because he's the king. So he starts the process of, hey, we're going to attack. So meanwhile, then Arthur's hanging out with his dad at the bar. Same basic scene, he can, being cool. They have a great relationship with his father, and then the news report starts with all the trash and the Navy ships are, washing up around shores and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, as they're at this bar and they're having a good time, they can see the sea start to retreat.
Oh,
because the wave's coming.
Oh,
and so the first big action scene here is Arthur saving the town that he's in from all the debris and getting people out of the way and stopping a ship. It's like he's
like him jumping out of the wave and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, it's not just running away from the wave in a car. No, he's actively trying to stop this disaster or mitigate it as much as possible.
Yeah.
The last thing he does in this scene is save his dad, and it seems like he's going to be too late to save him, and Mara's going to show up to help with the save on his dad.
Great.
And Mara's like, hey, so here's the situation. You need to come back to Atlantis and take the throne. You got to claim your right because, Orm's about to attack the surface. Arthur doesn't give a fuck about Atlantis. He hates Atlantis. He doesn't want to rule them.
No.
But Mara's like, and even his dad's like, son, I know, but, this is bigger than that right now.
Yeah.
If this happens all over the planet, so many people are going to die, and you're the only one that can stop them. You have a right to that throne.
It's your birthright, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it is your birthright. And I know I know I raised a good boy, and I know your mom would want you to do.
And I think there's something about equating him as a lighthouse keeper, and he's like, you know why I'm the lighthouse keeper?
Oh, yep.
It's because I'm the one guy that really didn't want to do it. And they know and they made me do it because they knew that I was the right guy for the job, and I had the right temperament, and I had the ability to save a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, but I knew I needed to.
I can guide them
because everyone else in this town's a bunch of friggin' drunks and idiots. I'm the one that needs to to man that lighthouse.
The reason why so many ships
lighthouse.
come back to Amnesty Bay is because of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get a connection between him and his dad.
Yep.
And that also emulates, or the opposite side of that coin is Orm's relationship with his dad. That's obviously just very political, and they're not close, and that's why we get Orm the way he is.
Mm-hmm. But Orm has a point.
Oh no,
Orm's not entirely wrong.
No.
So
Killmonger was right.
Killmonger, yes, that's what makes the best villains. So mostly at this point, so they go back to Atlantis, and most of the same stuff happens this time, but they're not sneaking in.
Yeah.
This is no. I have a potential heir to the throne here. The actual who has a claim, who's got a better claim. He's the firstborn son. He's the one that should be. He's a half-breed. No, like they come right into the front doors.
Yeah.
And Mara's like, no.
Because that's what Jason Momoa would do. He'd kick open the doors.
Yes.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
So this time we're gonna as they're walking through Atlantis, Mara can be teaching him, showing him all this stuff.
Yeah.
Lore dumps, and we're gonna spend a little bit more time. We don't have to rush in this script.
Yeah.
We're gonna spend a little bit more time. We're like, hey, here's what happened. This is what Atlantis, how this started, where we are right now. This is how society is. Hey, everyone's really freaked out that whatever the freaking stupid guy was from Justice League, whatever, got everyone spooked, and everyone's really scared about the surface finding out about us.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, well, Steppenwolf. Yeah. This is what's going on down here, and people are really scared, and so they're kind of following Orm. He kind of does have a point, but that's not the way. That's not what your mom taught us. We need to figure out a better way of doing this.
Yeah.
So instead of a big throne room and Arthur being chained to the floor and Orm being like, look at all the bad stuff the surface does. They're gonna sit in a room, or they're gonna be in his office or whatever, and they're gonna have a very passionate debate about what's going on, and we're gonna really see these because these characters have never met each other.
Yeah, no, they don't know.
They are aware of each other. They have never met.
Yeah.
And so the sons of Atlanta are gonna
in Atlantis.
In Atlantis, boy, that is really hard to say.
I know.
Are gonna just kind of have it out, and eventually, and they're both gonna be right.
Yeah.
But Orm's way is no, I want to kill so many things with them on the surface, and Arthur's is you don't have to. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but there's got to be a better way than killing a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Because what that's going to just bring people.
Have you tried diplomacy? They don't even know you exist, dude.
Yes, exactly. They just found out that they exist. Oh, why did they find out? You, brother.
Yeah.
Because you can't help but save people.
Yeah.
This is your fault. But what would you have me do? Nothing? They actually it's a gripping scene with two good actors going at each other.
Yeah.
With positive points, and eventually, just like in the movie, Orm's gonna bait Arthur into having trial by combat. Oh,
okay.
We're gonna do trial by combat again.
Hell yeah.
Of course, Orm is going to win because Arthur doesn't know about any of this stuff. But Mara gets interrupts the fight and gets him out of there, gets Arthur out of there. But this time, instead of just running away on a fetch quest, she realizes, okay, so that didn't work. There is a backup plan. Your claim still exists. We just need the other nations to back you for the claim.
Yeah.
So now we're just the rest of Act 2 is basically Mara shuffling Arthur off to the other.
So we learn more about the world.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And so Arthur Arthur also needs to learn about these people, because remember, he hates Atlantis. And he's going to realize, just like Orm needs to realize, that, hey, people in service and people in Atlantis, just people, man. Some of them are fish people. Some of them are octopus people. But they all get up in the morning. They all have jobs. They all have families. We're all the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same stuff. There's no reason to hate each other. We got to talk this stuff out. And so Arthur's prejudice of the ocean dwellers will fade over these couple of scenes of meeting the other royalty, seeing what these other nations are like. Yeah. And of course, Orm has sent some assassination squads after him. So Arthur we need some fights. So Arthur and Mara can fight, and also Arthur can save a couple of people, and they can start earning people's trust, and he can be like, yeah, hey, you know what? I mean, my mom was right. These are people too, and maybe I was wrong. Yeah. So while this is happening, by the end of Act 2, of course, Orm finally gets ready to attack the surface, and they finally, as Arthur meets the crab people or whatever.
Crab people.
Finally starts understanding them. Yeah, you know what, Arthur, son of Atlanta, yes, we will back your claim to the throne. They get because he's war with the surface is not gonna help. No. We could inflict massive damage on them, absolutely, but then what? But then what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, we'll back your claim for peace.
All they're gonna do is just come back and get us.
Yes.
They're just gonna nuke Atlantis.
But do you have any idea the powers on the surface right now?
Yeah.
They have people up there that could do crazy things. Do you think I'm special? Like, you don't even know about these other people.
Yeah.
They get word that Orm is to target his attack on the surface.
Where are they coming out first?
So Act 3 starts.
Orlando. Is it Orlando?
It's the big Act 3 fight, and at the beginning here, as Arthur rushes back to take Orm on again, we're gonna flash around the DCU because remember, this is a DCU movie that takes place after Justice League.
So we've already met everybody.
So we're gonna check in on London, Gotham, and Metropolis, and we'll see the Trinity just it's a quick flash around the Flash is it's a landlocked city. Don't worry about that in the middle of the country, but we're gonna see the Trinity deal with this stuff, saving people, trying to fighting a couple of Atlantis troops or whatever, but just doing their best to mitigate what's going on, because Arthur swims to Boston. This is where the actual fight I think the comics takes place, and encounters Orm, and they fight. And we're gonna do what Black Panther should have done, which is fight Killmonger in the streets of Wakanda, not on the train.
Absolutely.
So
if you had to change one thing about Black Panther,
yes, they fight in the streets of Wakanda in front of people, so they could have the philosophical debate in front of everybody.
Yes. Because
it was a fisticuffs, but also it's a war of ideas.
Yes.
And that's what needed to eventually stop Killmonger, not just taking away everyone's suits. Anyways, they're gonna have what I wanted in the Black Panther fight. They're gonna fight in the streets of Boston, and eventually, it's gonna be really cool. They're fighting back and forth. They're jibber jabbering and talking, giving each other's point of view. And eventually, the other rulers will pop up, and Arthur says, "They're backing my claim. We fight again." And I'm like, "Fight, great. You know what? We'll fight again." And Arthur's like, "No, and this time we're gonna fight in front of everybody, the surface and the ocean. This is a fight for everybody."
Yeah. Okay.
And so Orm's, agrees to that. We'll fight on land. Fine. So everyone can see. We'll fight for the throne of Atlantis to see if this war continues or it stops.
Yeah.
And so they're having to fight now that Arthur is finally, learned and grown, and his prejudices have dropped over the ocean. He's fighting for everyone. And everyone's there. And so we see this fight going, and so eventually Orm realizes he's kind of losing. And I was like, oh boy, he's fighting with a lot more passion now. He tries a dirty trick to attack. He tries to attack Arthur, but the actual attack's against his father, who's in the crowd. And so Arthur stops the attack, but leaves himself open. But he enraged, he gets the hit. And it's like, oh no, it looks like Arthur's down, but he went out front of my dad.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Arthur, powers up a little bit with the power of father and son, and beats the ever-living crap out of Orm.
Yeah.
But stops before killing him, because that's not what their mother would have wanted.
Yeah, no.
It's like, Orm, you are wrong about this. There is a better way. We're stopping this.
Yeah.
I'm taking the throne. They was like, yeah, Arthur, King of Atlantis, woo, Aquaman, woo, this is fantastic. It's like, Arthur, or Orm, you're not gonna stop, so you're gonna go to prison. But I'm going to visit. We need to talk.
Yeah.
We need to be brothers.
Absolutely.
So everyone's happy. Hooray, the day has been saved. Atlantis will retreat. He apologized. He's like, hey, you know what? So I guess I'm king now. Oh boy, but we need to set up some embassies. Guys, we are going to be busy. The Justice League shows up. And I was like, hey, that was a great job, Arthur. Because they should show up.
Yeah.
Because, and again, we need them for an afternoon. We need to get them in the suits for the afternoon. That's all we need. Easy peasy. No big deal. And then the movie ends, and I was like, great, everything's fine and happy. And I was like, I'm Aquaman.
Yeah.
And then a mid-credit scene, we see Black Manta getting, Black Manta during the fight that was happening.
Yeah.
Is able to pirate away an Atlantean vessel.
Oh,
kills everybody
great.
on it, gets the vessel, and is looks at the gear, and is like, yeah, I can do a lot with this. And we'll just see the beginnings of
Absolutely.
He's got the Black Manta. Oh, that's how he's going to make the Black Manta.
Hell yeah.
Okay, we'll see him in the sequel.
In the suit, they took a stupid character and made it pretty cool.
Yo, man, yeah.
In that movie.
They did.
When he shoots the laser beams, I was like, all right, I see you.
Yeah, but then he immediately almost gets punked out.
Yeah, I know.
It's
not
but
great.
But he's our bad guy in the second film, and you kind of just punked him out in the first one. Ooh, yikes.
Yeah.
Because if it was a draw, it'd be one thing. It was not a draw.
No.
He got worked. So yes, and the second movie would then that's the quest for the trident, because Black Manta did something or found something and unleashed like the Kraken or whatever, and like the only thing that stopped it from wreaking havoc in the ocean is getting the trident.
Yeah.
So now it's a quest for the trident against
Easy.
Black Manta. So you have two forces going after the same.
Yes.
Yeah, Indiana Jones movie.
Oh yeah, done.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean it's just a little bit more of a souped-up Throne of Atlantis storyline from the comics.
Yeah,
but that is enough for
that's
a 2-hour
enough.
film.
That's enough. That's more than enough.
Yeah,
yeah, that's really good. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, this movie they needed to act more. They needed to be they needed like there was a core in the middle of this movie of like
because we're dealing with like kings and thrones. There is people love that. Like your audience is not gonna leave you on that. You know what I mean? You're not gonna lose anybody.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like this movie was made for the lowest common denominator in a way that just like isn't what I don't know. Okay. So my fix.
Yes.
I'm going in a wildly different direction.
So I've heard.
Because honestly, when we were talking about it, you were like, "This is what I'm thinking of doing." I was like, "Well, that's the right one." So I'm just gonna like go complete like tone different.
Okay.
Because like, look, the DC universe has enough serious stuff. You know what I'm saying?
At that point,
like,
yeah.
golly, wow, they could use a little levity. And I think there are cultural touchstones for Aquaman that everyone has.
Okay.
Like a large swath of America has.
Right.
And I kind of want to lean into what we're making here.
Sure.
Like in order just so people can latch on to that aspect of it. Like people have certain expectations of Aquaman from other media.
Yes.
And so I'm basically making a comedy.
Oh,
Aquaman.
okay. Wow, okay.
Okay. So there's gonna be action too.
Sure,
but it's gonna be a comedy.
Yeah. It's gonna be an action comedy.
But yeah. So in order to reach what a lot of people think about when they think of Aquaman, my movie actually starts. It starts in a similar sequence to. It doesn't start the same way, but we're gonna steal a sequence from the original movie. We open up on Black Manta taking the sub.
Okay.
And we're getting all that action sequence, and it's even shot a little tighter, a little bit more action, and a little bit more over the top.
Sure.
And we come in on like Aquaman, but like basically bussing his way into the sub like he does, and then we get to the shot of him finally like revealing himself and turning around, and as he says the line. It's lame, but it's so stupid we are keeping it because it's going to be a little over the top. But with the permission to come aboard.
Yeah.
Permission to come aboard. And then we hear from the background, cut. And then the camera pans up Aquaman. And we hear the slow into quick driving guitar riff. Oh yeah! And it's Vinny Chase as Aquaman. And as he's walking off set, Zack Snyder comes on, who's playing himself. And he's like, I wasn't sure about this camera test until I wasn't sure how this was going to look, but after this camera test, I definitely think this movie's going to get greenlit. And then we get more of the guitar of, oh yeah! And then the credits roll, and it's Entourage 2.
There it is.
The reboot of Aquaman.
I didn't know who you were talking about. I've never seen Entourage. Because when you said the name, it was like, oh no. I don't get that reference.
Yeah, man, we're making another Entourage movie for my Aquaman fix. Because most people, when you bring up Aquaman, go, oh yeah, like an Entourage?
Do they?
Yes. Even Kim Kimberly, I was like, "Oh, we're fixing Aquaman." She's like, "Oh, you should just do Entourage." And I was like, "That's exactly what I'm doing." Entourage 2. Okay, so Vinny Chase is on set with Zack Snyder, and they are trying to get. They are doing camera tests and screen tests for Aquaman 3, Revenge of the Tides. Which is like kind of like a reboot of the Aquaman franchise, and we are coming back into all of our favorite Entourage characters writ large. Now, because there's so many characters, like we have like a bunch of different storylines we're gonna be working with for the Entourage movie. Vinny Chase is trying to he has been moved into directing and like serious filmmaking, and he is reluctantly being talked into coming back to play Aquaman again, because he needs like the money and the clout in order to keep making the stuff that he wants to make.
Yeah, one for them, one for me.
Exactly.
Yep.
And he is running into issues with E, who has had his baby with Sloane. And E and Sloane are back together, and I'm realizing you've never seen Entourage, and so you're not going to get any of these references. You've never seen Entourage.
I haven't seen a single episode.
You've never seen Entourage.
Never seen a single episode of Entourage.
Dude, it's the best garbage. It's like it is the Cool Ranch Doritos of TV. Come on, man.
I'm really sorry, Jay.
Man,
I'm
it's
sure
the
you were
blueberry Pop-Tart.
doing great right
Dude,
now.
everyone listening.
I know
everyone
yeah.
listening right now is going nuts right now.
I'm
But
so sorry,
E
guys.
is trying to be an involved dad because he didn't necessarily like have like the best father figure in his life, and so he's trying to be an involved dad. And he is running into issues with Vinny because he wants to be a producer on this Aquaman project, but he is running into issues with maintaining, taking good care of his kid while also maintaining
work-life balance.
But inevitably, we'll get to how that like pans out. So like they're having issues there. Now, they eventually get this movie greenlit, and they realize that they're going to have to bring back Mandy Moore as well. They're going to have to bring back Mandy Moore if they want to get this movie greenlit. Because Mandy Moore played his love interest in the
Mara?
in tech, quote unquote. They don't go into a lot of detail of the actual.
Okay, but all right.
And so Mandy, he's
good
like,
casting.
I don't know if I want to do it, and E has to talk him into, doing it.
Does he have beef with Mandy Moore?
They dated for a long time, and it like kind of ended bad.
Oh, okay.
And she, it's Mandy Moore's playing herself, but like kind of a fictionalized version of herself. And I love it. I'm keeping Mandy Moore in because look, we need more Mandy Moore. You know what I'm saying?
True.
She's America's sweetheart. She's triple threat. We love Mandy Moore. So Mandy Moore reluctantly signs up for this movie, but she's like, I want to have a meeting with Vinny. And like, they are kind of clearly on like a rocky footing. Now, meanwhile, we have got Johnny Drama, who has like been picking up clout from like successful TV show appearances and stuff like that. So like his star is on the rise, and Vinny's like, okay, like I will do this movie with Mandy Moore if you get if you get Johnny Drama like a good part. They're like, you know what, honestly, actually, like we could, like, that's no problem because like, his star is on the rise a little bit. But what inevitable, so the movie gets into production. And that's when eventually when we get Turtle shows up, and Turtle is like riding high because he's been having like a lot of like a lot of his business prospects have like have picked up. He's doing really well for himself. He's an entrepreneur, but Turtle has now big into NFTs. And his whole side plot line is that he gets like, he's into NFTs and is like really big into them, but then he gets into this bidding war for these new NFTs, and it becomes this whole thing on like, part of the running bit is how secretive these NFTs are, and so like we get the little breadcrumbs of like what that ends up being. So Johnny Drama gets cast in the show. E gets him in the show, or in the movie. And Johnny Drama, he negotiates for like a ton of money, and they just say yes. And so he doesn't feel like he's worth that amount of money. And so he starts doing like small odd jobs around, he starts like being like really gregarious around set and like helping out with people, because he was like, they clearly screwed up. They're not supposed to be paying me this much money. Once they find out, like, I want them to think like I earned it. So even though like it's like, dude, like you've been doing well for yourself, like you deserve this. Like Vince the whole time is like, you deserve this money. Like, I don't know. He's like, nah, they're gonna figure it out. So he's helping, like doing all sorts of funny bits on set, like helping out. All the while, him and Mandy are kind of like rekindling their their love story.
Sure.
And it gets to a point where eventually E and Sloane and Vince and Mandy all go out on a double date together. And that's where tensions between Vince and E kind of like hit a breaking point.
Okay.
And it comes down to like, it's like Vince feels like he's being replaced by this kid kind of thing.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? And so like that's kind of and Vince like kind of tries to like break ties with E, and that eventually and that causes a fight between him and Mandy. And he kind of self-implodes with his fight for Mandy. He's like, look, like everyone is going to like find something better than me. Like, I don't like, if you're going to find something better than me, like, I don't understand like why we're doing this. So they're kind of on the ropes a little bit. Now, before this double date, when they're getting this movie off the ground, we find out that going through all the production contracts, when they figure out how much Johnny Drama's going to get paid, they figure out that through all the contracts in Aquaman and like everything that they've been doing with all of that, they realize that they were like, well, we don't a PA is like, I can't notarize this because we don't have all the producer's signatures. And they were like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, per the original Aquaman contract,
right,
these are all of the producers and the one signature I'm missing. And they all kind of look at each other, and the PA goes, Ari Gold, you're missing Ari Gold's signature. Now, Ari Gold is Jeremy Piven's character, and he plays the agent, who is also like a producer on a lot of Vince's stuff.
Oh,
and was
okay.
Vince's agent, and he very famously got out of the game at the end of the last movie. So they have to go to Italy. That's where the double date situation happens with Sloane. They're all in Italy. So they have to go to Italy to get Ari to come back to Hollywood. It's not an easy sell with his wife. He's like, I just got to go back. I got to help my boy, you know. And I think like Ari comes back, and his whole shtick the whole time is that like he secretly loves the showbiz. He loves doing it. He loves the producing of it. But like he's trying to make it seem like if anyone that like his wife knows is around, he's trying to make it seem like he hates it.
So word gets back to her that he
yes. He has to make sure that word gets back to her that he's like just doing the bare minimum so he can get back as quickly as possible, even though he's relishing and loving being back in it. So that's like his whole shtick. And it eventually ties it together. Like E and Vince. You're hating every second of this.
I'm just so sorry that I've never seen the show.
It's totally fine.
You're doing great.
It's totally fine.
But I feel like it would be better if someone who watched the show, like so one of our audience members was here. No, it's I thought
it was you were gonna fall out of your chair laughing.
The passion you're doing this is amazing. I'm sure everyone at home's like, this is so great. Yeah. I don't know any of your references, but the passion you're giving it is I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the vibe, Jay. Keep going.
Yeah.
I'm vibing.
And so everything like they wrap everything else up in Italy between E and Vince realizes he needs to go, like he needs to leave early and go back and catch Mandy, and they end the movie together, and I think Vince is like the whole thing is just like look, every aspect of my life has been transactional. Every relationship I've been in has been transactional to some degree. Hell, all of my friends ended up working for me in some way or another. Like I've done my best to help them out, and they help me, but like, you know, I'm always afraid that like, you know, something better is going to come along for everybody And she's like, no, like this, like I feel like they actually have like a real human connection, and I want to end the movie with Mandy Moore and Vince like actually trying to have a real meaningful relationship.
Okay.
So like that's their stasis. Ari, I think, finagles a way to get back to Hollywood just for special projects.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, look, I don't want to be completely out of the game. Like, I love you and I love the life we've built. Every once in a while, I love making movies. So like, there's that realization. Ian Sloan realized they kind of need to realize they need to get out more, probably being like, we've been a little baby centric. We need to make sure we maintain a relationship with our friends. And then Turtle, his whole like breadcrumb thing with all the NFTs ends up where he ends up accidentally trying to get all of his wealthy investors to try to buy into this NFT program, but they show up and they're all statues. They're like, oh, it's like physical NFTs. And Turtle's like, so statues? You just bought statues? And so in the last minute turnaround, Johnny Drama has all that money that he didn't feel like he earned from the movie. Even though he gives a great, like everyone's like, you're incredible in this movie, dude. You're like the best part of the movie. You earned this money. He buys all of the NFTs before anyone else can. And then it like as like kind of like a revenge for Turtle, there's a sledgehammer there and he smashes all of them, and they all think it's like it's like, Johnny Drama, the new up and coming actor, like does like a performance art piece about NFTs because it like goes viral on the internet. And so like all the pieces of the NFTs are selling like crazy. So Turtle's actually making a ton of money, and like turns around and it turns it around into like this whole big, like they just stumble ass backwards into it like a bucket of cash. And so Johnny Drama has even more money. Yeah. And I think, I want to end like my frustration with the Entourage movie is that like I don't necessarily feel like it just felt like they were all just more successful versions of who they were. I didn't see them change at all. Oh. And I think Ari did, and that's great. But I kind of want them to all land in a better emotional place
from a character standpoint instead of a professional standpoint.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's that. Oh yeah! You don't even.
How did the movie turn out? Did Aquaman 3 turn out all right?
Oh, it's a huge success.
Oh, great!
It's a huge success and a critical success as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Boy, Warner Brothers could really use that.
And I think the movie ends with them knowing it's a good movie, and Vinny and Mandy not going to the red carpet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Like, E's gonna be really mad. Yeah. E'll get it. It's like this, he's always been family, and he'll get it. And they drive off in the car from the poster. Oh yeah! I've never felt so alone while talking into a microphone with another person in my entire life.
You did a good job, Jay. You said words. I understood. I understood your setups and your punchlines.
Yeah.
Just didn't know the characters behind them.
Yep.
But the NFT bit seemed great. That was funny.
Yeah. There's a lot of Entourage is funny as hell, and most people when you bring up Aquaman think you're talking about Entourage.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Well,
great job, dude.
Yep.
We fixed it.
Yep. I think I wrote, and the funny thing is, I actually wrote a pretty good Entourage.
You did?
Like a good bullet point of an Entourage movie.
Yeah.
Acknowledging where all the characters are and where we're moving to, and
yeah. Yep. Good character growth. Good arcs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
bits.
good setup for bits.
Yeah. Good bits. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You did a very good job.
Yeah.
Everyone at home's praising you right now.
Yeah. No,
everyone's jumping into the Discord being like, "Man, that J-Fix was great."
Yeah, I don't feel good about it though.
Adam's across the plate, sure, but like Jay, dude, did you see that Entourage coming out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Oh yeah! They were like, "Yeah, man, that's great."
That wasn't the right notes, but.
Oh
well,
yeah! Oh yeah!
Here we go. Right. Well.
Oh
everybody,
yeah. Can you get a oh yeah?
This has been
oh,
Fix It,
yeah.
everybody. Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But before we end the show, Adam and I just want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a very happy holiday. We're gonna be taking a short little break from the show for just a hot second, just a couple of weeks off, just so we can kind of reset the.
Yep.
And honestly, after bombing this hard on the show, I could use it.
What are you talking about, Jay? I think everyone thought you did a great job.
And how?
I'm sorry I never watched Entourage.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys next year. As we end every single one of these episodes, heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
It's the oh yeah that you don't see coming.
Nope.
No.
That ain't it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah yeah.
We'll
We'll
see you guys later.
Bye. Later.